Hey everyone, welcome to episode number 8 of the Buffalo Music Mafia. My name
Yep.
is Thomas S. Orwatt Jr., and I'm with the Rock Interview Series and RockMusicStar.com. And over here is the one and only. Da-da-da.
Joseph Sudo from Rock Show Critique. How we doing today?
I'm doing great. I'm pretty excited. It's Thursday, one day before a great concert at the Batavia Downs. Joe, what do you think that we dedicate this episode again to the Batavia Downs concert series?
It sounds like a great idea. I think with this lineup, it just looks so good. I definitely feel they've definitely hit a home run here. This is the best lineup I feel that the Downs has produced in their full 4 years of being around. This lineup from top to bottom, there's a little something for everybody. It's not all one type of music. It's a good mix. And it's like putting an iPod on shuffle. You're getting stuff from all over the different generations.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, there's definitely something for everyone. If you're a real music fan, you're gonna probably want to check out every single one of these shows that's coming up on Fridays.
Yeah, so obviously the first show actually happened already. That was the Almost Queen show that took place on the 11th. So this week, why don't you go ahead and tell them about who's coming this week?
Well, like I said, it's Thursday right now, so hopefully this will be up in time so we can everyone can see this before the show actually happens. But the show that's coming up tomorrow is the Mark Farner's American Band. Now, Mark Farner, and I'm sure everybody watching this knows who Mark Farner is. Mark Farner used to be with the Grand Funk Railroad, who was probably one of the most popular bands in the world and from 1969 to like the mid 70s. They had a ton of hits, a lot of airplay. An American Band was one of their songs. I'm Your Captain Coming Home is one of their songs. Mark Farner is the person responsible for writing about 90% of that material, and he was a singer. He's a singer, guitar player in the band. He's put together a great band, and they're just gonna crank out some great songs tomorrow. A lot of Grand Funk Railroad songs, some of Mark's solo stuff. So it really should be a great show.
Yeah, I especially can't wait. I've never seen Mark perform live. I've seen the current version of Grand Funk Railroad, but this is two totally different things. Hearing Mark's voice on like the classic "I'm Your Captain," closer to home is just going to be something I'm really looking forward to, and I'm really excited for that show here tomorrow, June 18th. And taking it to the next show after that, we're looking over at none other than Mr. Steve Augeri. He's coming up on June 25th, another do not miss show. Steve, hasn't doesn't play the area as much as we would hope, but he is going to be here on June 25th. He will be with his solo band. For those who are not familiar with Mr. Augeri, he's known for being the man who replaced Steve Perry. Now, you talk about trying to fill shoes. Those got to be like the biggest pair of shoes I've ever seen anybody try to have to fill there. Um, Steve's been, he was known before actually joining Journey. He actually was in a couple bands that used to play the Buffalo area once in a while back in the early 90s. Tall Stories, for which he was the lead singer of and songwriter. And he also was in Taiketo, another early 90s band who also played Buffalo a couple times. He was in that band for an album, and then he got noticed by Neil Sean, and bam, he became Journey's singer. So Journey's not doing a tour this summer. So if you want to see Journey songs live in action, this is the place to be on June 25th.
Yeah, one of the records he did with Journey was an EP called Red 13, which is an absolutely amazing, probably one of my favorite Journey releases of all time. So great stuff. Following that, the next week is July 2nd, and that will kick off the 4th of July weekend, which happens to be one of my favorite times of the year. And I can't think of a better band than the band that they have. They have Molly Hatchet playing. Molly Hatchet, who is unfortunately, there aren't any of the original members of Molly Hatchet in the band, probably because, right now, unfortunately, they're all dead. But Bobby Ingram, the guitar player, has been with Molly Hatchet since 1989. And He actually was in the Danny Joe Brown band in 1980, and Danny Joe Brown was the singer, of course, of the classic Molly Hatchet lineup. And in addition, John Galvin, who is the keyboard player in Molly Hatchet currently, also played in the Danny Joe Brown band. And on bass, they have Tim Lindsay, who was in he actually played a couple show, or actually played like 10 shows with Leonard Skinner. So they have some great musicians. They released a live record in 2019 called Battleground, which is absolutely incredible. I highly recommend anybody who loves Southern rock to check this show out.
Oh yeah, it sounds like it's going to be a great show. Sometimes it doesn't matter exactly who's in the band, but these guys definitely carry on the tradition, of Molly Hatchet and their Southern Fried Rock. Hearing Flirting with Disaster and Whiskey Man, definitely, definitely going to be a great time out at the Downs on July 2nd. Like you said, a great way to kick off the 4th of July weekend. And the week after that, we're going to get even more uh, into it here. Mr. Don Felder.
Yeah.
Those not familiar with Mr. Don Felder, where you been? The guy, is known for writing perhaps the biggest song that you'll hear at the Batavia Downs this year, Hotel California. Now, obviously, he didn't write the lyrics, but without that riff, there is no Hotel California. Let's be honest. Phenomenal. Don Felder, formerly guitarist of the Eagles, he'll be there playing not only many Eagles songs that he was part of and recorded on those songs with the Eagles, but he'll also be doing a couple solo songs he'll stick in there, and he usually brings a great band with him. I don't know who he'll have with him this time, but rest assured, whoever he has with him, you'll know the name from somewhere that he played with somebody.
Yeah, a great artist. I'm really looking forward to this one. He has a great band back, played in the area, quite a few times during the last 10 years or so, and he never disappoints. And Hotel California, I mean, come on. I mean, that's probably like in the top three rock songs of all time. I mean, it's totally epic. I rank it up there with Freebird and Stairway to Heaven. I mean, Hotel California definitely in the top three, in my opinion. Talking about legendary artists, the following week, believe it or not, is none other than Tommy James and the Shadows. Can you believe it? Tommy James, I mean, he's been around forever. A lot of classic songs that other people covered, and you might not even know that they are Tommy James songs. But I mean, a couple of them offhand. Moni Moni, that was his song. Crimson and Clover, that's his song. I mean, it's going to be a great show. And let's be honest. I mean, how many opportunities do you have to see a rock legend like Tommy James?
Oh, no doubt. Yeah, he's had a hand in so many songs. Sheila, to name a few. They're just amazing. So many great songs by him. And to think that he's still out there playing live at this point in his career, it's just going to be, phenomenal. And you'll definitely see a lot of the, older people out at that one, which is sure to draw, really well because there's so many people who are familiar with the gentleman on in all of his catalog and stuff.
Yeah.
All right, and then after that one leads us to none other than July 23rd. We'll be out there for Skid Row. Now, some people might say, "Who's in Skid Row anymore?" Well, it's pretty much the same band as it always has been for the most part, with the exception of the singer. Um, and it seems like no matter who they get to sing, you know, throughout the years, the one thing you can count on is they're going to be there. They're going to give it their all, and they're just going to, rock it. You're going to hear, the usual "Youth Gone Wild," 18 in Life, "I Remember You." You're going to hear all that stuff, all the good songs performed as only Skid Row can.
Yeah, it's the 30th anniversary of Slave to the Grind. So which was a record that debuted number two for Skid Row, and I'm sure you're going to be you're hearing a lot of songs from that record as well. And I think that they have a different drummer also. I'm pretty sure on that there's a new drummer in the band from the original drummer. After Skid Row, we have none other than the Grassroots, classic rock and roll. on the 30th of July. Not really, I'll be honest with you, I'm not really a huge fan of them, but I do respect the fact that they're a legendary band. And I want to check them out to see what I'm missing. I'll probably before the show probably listen to some of their records and get all fired up for it. Joe, you probably know a little bit more about the grassroots than I. What can you tell our audience about the grassroots?
Well, the grassroots, obviously, the one name in the band was Rob Grill. You know, he was the former lead singer, and sadly enough, he passed away. About 10 years ago. But he actually handpicked his replacement before he passed on, and the band that's with him is pretty much the same band Rob was playing with right before he, had to stop touring. He's got Dusty Hanvey on guitar there, and it's a really good solid lineup. They do a great job. Mark Dawson on vocals. Not only can the guy sing the heck out of the catalog, he's very entertaining, very funny guy. That show definitely will be one that you'll definitely enjoy because of the fact, they're there to entertain, and they know that. And so you're going to hear the songs. If you are familiar with the band, you'll hear the ones that you wanted to hear. Temptation Eyes, sooner or later, all the great songs that they are known for. Definitely going to be one of the highlights out of the whole lineup here, for the Downs series on July 30th.
Yeah. Well, since you took that one for the most part, I'll take the next one. How does that sound? Then the next week we have August 6th, the Pink Floyd tribute band, which is called The Machine, one of the most renowned tribute bands out there right now that perform Pink Floyd. They put on an extraordinary show. They played in the area before. They played our park before, and I've always
Mhm.
had like a really great turnout. Classic Floyd songs, done with with all the production that you would expect. You're not gonna ever see Pink Floyd again, guys. I'm sorry. I mean, I wish I could say they're getting back together, but this is really the next best thing to actually seeing the actual Pink Floyd. It's going to be a great time. Kick back. It's going to be midsummer. Have a couple chords lights and enjoy some great Floyd songs. And then after that, the next week, metal. Yeah, you'll get the next two, Joe. Okay, how's that sound? Next, Queensryche, which the Queensryche led by Todd Latore and original members Eddie Jackson on bass and Michael Wilton on guitar. You're gonna hear some of the classic earlier Queensryche material they've been playing, and they're gonna rock the place. It's gonna be awesome. Hair Nation, local band Hair Nation, will be opening that show. Should be a great time.
Yeah, you definitely, that show is definitely not one to be missed. Obviously Jeff Tate no longer in the band. That's been a 10-year process here that he's been gone from that band. But at the same time, to replace Jeff Tate, Todd Latore has done phenomenal. Couldn't have picked a better replacement. He plays the songs, the band plays the songs, the way they recorded them, and they just sound phenomenal. Like you said, you're going to hear a lot of songs from the earlier catalog, but the band does have about 3 albums now under the belt with Todd Latour here, so they will definitely mix in a few of their own there, more recent material too for fans who are familiar with those catalog songs as well. Um, so yeah, that's going to be on August 13th. And then from there, we go to Puddle of Mud. Obviously, this isn't the same exact Puddle of Mud that hit it big back in the early time frame when they first started off here. But Wes Scantlin is still there, the lead singer, songwriter, and he's got a new version of Puddle of Mud that's been together now for quite a number of years. And they played the Downs a few years back and put on one of the best shows of the whole series that year. So yeah, definitely all the songs that you're familiar with as far as Puddle of Mud is concerned. If you want to go ahead and chime in on some of your take on the band here.
The Puddle of Mud. Puddle of Mud. Yeah. Yeah, they had some great hits. I mean, it was a band that has kind of been resurrected. They definitely had some issues continuing the band. I mean, their lead singer, um Wes, was definitely like a tabloid material there for a while, on like a self-destructive road. But he's pulled it back together. I think he's sober by now, or has been for the last couple of years, maybe, hopefully. Uh, at least that's what he's claiming, I suppose. But yeah, he's pulled it together. It's a great story of somebody that could have been a rock and roll tragedy, and turn it around. So nothing but respect for them. Like I said before, they do have some great songs.
Yeah, definitely. And if you were at the show a couple years back when they played the Downs, you know what to expect. It's going to be pretty much the same thing. I think they did have I think they do got some more new music out since the last time, so expect to hear a little bit of that probably, as well as the old classics, "She Hates Me" and and all those good songs that they're known for. So that will be on August the 20th. And then closing out the series this summer will be on August 27th. None other than the Spin Doctors. They'll be out there
Woo.
rocking it down at the Downs here on August the 27th. Chris Barron and company. They'll be out there bringing the whole proceedings to a close. And those that are familiar with the Spin Doctors, they played the area a few times over the years, and none more so probably than that show that they played at the town ballroom back about 9 years ago or so in that area there, where they got a nice write up in the paper from Jeff Myers for Buffalo News. Unbelievable, because he doesn't usually just write up stuff, and unless you really deserve the praise that you get. Myers definitely. And I was at that show, and definitely he hit the nail on the head when he said how great that show was. It was just simply a phenomenal show. So I'm expecting pretty much the same here in a wide open venue like Batavia Downs.
Yeah, there should be a lot of energy. I remember when their debut record came out, I was managing a record store at the time, and we could not keep that on the shelves. It was just flying off. It was like one of the hottest things out at the time. So I mean, that's a band that started out really hot, and unfortunately, some of those bands, I think of them, many of them, like Hootie and the Blowfish, bands that start off really hot like that sometimes have difficulty maintaining that. And I think they kind of fell victim to that themselves, but it doesn't take away from the fact they had great songs and the talent of the band. So yeah, that's going to be a great show.
Yeah, so that's the lineup that we got this year, and for more information, if you're looking for anything as far as tickets, go to bataviaconcerts.com. It'll have all the information on there, different pricing levels, different packages. Um, to for your concert tasting, depending on, they got a couple different areas where you can buy tickets, and they'll have all the updates on their Facebook page as well at the Batavia Downs Gaming. So check out any, and they should be able to answer any of the other questions you may have regarding these shows.
Yeah, you can also go on their Facebook page as well, and if you need to message them, and I've done it before, and they're pretty quick at responding. So there's a lot of opportunities there, but and you can also email us. I mean, we can definitely direct you in the right area too if there's any questions you have about Batavia Downs. I mean, we'll get the answers for you, and we'll probably be at a lot of those shows too, right, Joe?
Well, I'm planning on it, definitely. Definitely going to try to plan my Friday nights to be freed up so I can be at the Downs. So I'll be out there rocking.
Yeah, absolutely. So hopefully we'll see people out there at the Batavia Downs on Fridays for the next, what, 8, 9 Fridays. It's going to be a great summer. So
No doubt.
thank you everybody for watching. And it's summer, so rock and roll, be safe, and crank it up.
Yeah.
See ya.